Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, BaHashem YAHAWASHI, BaHashem YERKIejejkhkvukefhiuvgyjgukerihu. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my YAHAWAH who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Biblical Cup coming at you with another lesson. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the standard of how the Lord wants us to be. All right. So the Lord, as of right now, Slakia, as of right now, is basically training us up to be, strong, diligent servants of Yahawadah. All right, and he kind of like he lets certain things happen to us so that it molds us into what he wants. All right, and then in addition to that, there's also our kind of like weaknesses, all right, that we also have to overcome to the spirit and power of Yahawadah in order to even more so be accounted worthy of the blessing of the Lord. All right. So as a result of that, the biggest thing is understanding that things are going to be tough and it's going to grow tough. All right. This is the main today's lesson. Things are going to grow as we grow. The difficulties are going to grow as we grow. It's Sirach chapter 2 verse from the top. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So this is a thing. Like, okay, so for example, all right, there's going to be a lot more mercy, all right, for us as when we're newer in the truth. But then, when we get more and more into this truth, and we're more spiritually sound, all right, so it gets to the point where we have to, we have to acknowledge that, okay, this is a sign from Yahawadah. I have to acknowledge that sign. I have to be obedient. I have to be faithful that the Lord is speaking to me, is dealing with me, and I need to, go stick through it, follow through with the guidance that Yahawadah is guiding me through. All right, and this is another thing that we ask for guidance. We're supposed to be asking for guidance. All right, and then when we get it, we can't be second guessing or being doubtful. We need to have faith that yes, the Lord is in fact speaking to us. Yes, the Lord is in fact showing us what we need to do in X, Y, and Z, whatever situations that we might be in. All right, and as a result, this is the situation. These are the whatever situation you're going to be in is going to be the situation, because we have to fight that urge of fear. Okay, all right, no matter what it may be, fight that urge of fear and stick through it and go through it, because that's what Yahawadah says. And if as we're following Yahawadah, the word of Yahawadah, then we should know and acknowledge that no matter what happens, the Lord got us. The Lord got us. At the end of the day, He's gonna help us get through it. He's gonna give us victory one way or another, or it's all going to work out some way, somehow. All right. So it's not going to get easier. As we're in the truth, things are not going to get easier. It's just going to get, it might get more clear for that what we have to do. All right. But the thing is, when we are faced with certain decisions and certain obstacles, then we might not want to do said things. All right. We might be fearful, but we have to, set aside that fear and push through and do what the Lord wants us to do. All right. And this is the thing that we practice in faith. We practice even though we're afraid, we still do the things. And this is one of the most powerful things. This is the thing that sets us apart as nations. All right. We the Israelites, all right, as a nation, we are the most faithful to YAHAWASHI. We're supposed to be the most faithful, and a lot of times we are the most spiritual. Okay, where there are other nations like, I don't know, fucking Indians that have their spirituality, Buddhism, whatever. All right, but the thing is, they're still, at the end of the day, there's still no one that is as faithful as the Israelites. Okay, we are the. Actually, get that. What was it? Bear with me. I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I can. Okay, well, slacky about that. I can't remember the scripture, but basically, all right, we are the most spiritual. We're the most in tune with YAHAWASHI because YAHAWASHI has never dealt with any other nations. All right, now moving on. Where is it? Oh yeah. So basically, this is the inspiration to do this lesson was actually, the growing tribulations. All right, and which leads me to another thing. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So, as time goes on, the constant along with time is that evil is going to grow. Iniquity shall abound. So evil is going to grow. Our trials and tribulations are going to grow. Our faith should grow in tandem with or parallel to the hardships that we encounter. All right. So as we face more and more hardships, we should have more and more faith in YAHAWASHI. All right. And this is the thing that we're gonna have to be on the lookout for. We're gonna have to be careful with. All right. We have to be careful that as these hardships come and go, as these hardships grow, all right, that we're not having second thoughts and saying, oh, well, maybe YAHAWASHI is not gonna look out for me, or maybe I should just go back to the world, or maybe whatever. All right, perish the thought. Okay, we need to. Things are getting harder, worse than they've ever been. All right, but you know what? I still gotta have faith that the Lord is going to help me. It's going to make a miracle happen. It's going to pop off and make something happen. All right, He's going to do His work for us, the Israelites, His servants. All right, and this is the thing that we have to have faith. We cannot stay stagnant as evil's growing, because evil's not staying stagnant. Evil is growing. Hardships are gonna grow, and trials and tribulation. Okay, they're never gonna stop. Okay, as long as we're here, these temptations, these hardships, they're never gonna stop. We're always gonna have to deal with them as long as we're in Babylon. So we need to be able to reject and dismiss them. Okay, we can't be weak. weak to the flesh. We can't be weak to any type of temptation or any type of wickedness. Okay, so we have to be ready to fight through it, all. All right. Now, oh yes, this is another thing I wanted to put in. Numbers chapter 18, verse 26. Thus speak unto the Levites, and say unto them, when ye take of the children of Israel the tithes which I have given you from them for your inheritance, then ye shall offer up heave offering of it for the Lord, even a tenth part of the tithe. So, I'm not necessarily talking about tithing specifically, but I wanted to take the concept of like how, tithing is 10%. Okay, so let's just draw a parallel and make that into any type of hardship or situation that we're going through now. Okay, so if we take the concept of tithing and put it into the hardships that we're going through, okay, so now you have to deal with 10% of some demons dealing with you, 50% of demons dealing with you. All right, whatever percent you want to put it, you want to take it, and then you draw the parallel from that to the hardships that we have to deal with. Okay, so normally you would have to deal with. Normally you would only need what? Let's say 10. Oh, let's just say 50%. Normally you would need 50% of your faith to be tested. All right, and you're still in a comfortable position in order to push through and power through it. Okay, all right, and the concept of let's say your total faith is giving it a numeric value, it's 100. All right, so it takes 50 faith to get through this hardship. So, and when you're done with this hardship, your faith goes back up to 100. Okay, so 50 is taken away, and then after you're done, you have victory over it through the Spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. You trusted the Lord got you out of it, then it goes back up to 100. Okay, or heck, maybe it goes up to 110. Okay, because you grew from it. All right, and that's the thing that we need to have. We need to be able to have faith as well as grow from trying tribulations. All right, also acknowledge and understand that was us during that time. That was the Lord that protected me during this time. That was the Lord that helped me out, that showed me the way, showed me the answer to this, that, and the third. All right, these are the things that we need to really pay attention to, as well as take every opportunity when we're in a hardship or a tribulation, all right, to grow from it. All right, some people just are just going through the motions, just going through stuff, but they're not really growing. All right, they're not growing. So as a result, it's just they're just waiting. But then as time goes on and the tribulation gets to 100 and 120, but you're still at 100 faith, all right, then it's going to be too much for you, and then you say, you know what, forget it. I'm not dealing with the Lord anymore. I'm going to go in the world and get all my problems fixed up, or go start drinking or stuff like that. All right, and this thing. So as if we are in that whole proportional thing, if we aren't growing alongside the tribulations, all right, because again, this is not. Let me get that. Ecclesiastes chapter, Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay, so things are not going to be easy for us being in this truth. So as these proportional troubles come, they are going to grow. All right, as we read in Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. Okay, because iniquity shall abound. So iniquity is growing, hardships are growing, trials and tribulations are growing, evil is growing. So as a result, we need to grow in the faith. We need to grow in our belief in YAHAWASHI, and trust that the Lord is going to be able to handle any and all situations that we have to that we're gonna face. That is too much for us. All right. So we're supposed to grow and never let that threshold of our faith being less than the actual tribulation in the parallel, in the what's the word, the I guess parable, not necessarily parable. The example, I guess, if or method that I just gave an example with. All right. So yeah. So what is your faith at? Like, is it at 100? Is it at 200? Is it at 500? Are you still going to be able to push through all these hardships as they get harder and harder for you, or are you gonna bitch up? All right. So yeah, we keep on pushing. We keep on having faith. We keep on trusting the Lord. We also keep on growing and having better acknowledgement, as well as developing a closer relationship with YAHAWASHI. All right. Now, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh? All right. So this is the thing. Like, things are going to be hard. Things are going to get harder for us. All right. Things are not going to be easy or smooth sailing, and we have to constantly endure, constantly trusting in the Lord. Okay, because the Lord is testing us, trying us first. Let me actually get that as well. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. YAHAWASHI is my power. And so the thing is, again, we're going to be tried, we're going to be refined, we're going to be put through the fire, we're going to be put through the hardships to be made, to have all of our impurities taken out of us, so that we may be as gold, we may be as precious stones. All right. Or just as precious, like something that's very valuable. Gold is valuable. All right. Maybe not to Babylonians today, but just the general concept of, most people say, oh yeah, gold is very cool. Gold's very precious. It's like a sign of wealth. All right. And that's what we're trying to get like. All right. So as a result, we have to keep on, as we're going through the fire, we have to keep on, ourselves up spiritually, so that we can take it through, push through the fire. All right. And be able to survive it. And that's why the Lord is going through all these hardships now with us, okay, to get rid of that these impurities from us, so that we may be worthy of his mercy, the kingdom of heaven, and all the rewards. All right. Now also want to get this, Luke chapter 12, verse 16, and he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. Okay. So if you're aware of this, it's the one with the rich man who had a lot of ground, and he built a whole bunch of storage, okay, for food, so that we won't have to work for the rest of his life. All right. Now let's skip down to verse 20. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? Verse 21. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, but is not rich towards Yahweh. So again, this goes to show, like, okay, so are you only setting in time to grow carnally, or are you growing spiritually? All right. This is an important thing that we need to remember to examine ourselves. All right, because it's an important thing to examine ourselves in. We want to grow spiritually, so that we can be able to endure any and all trial and tribulation that we have to go through. Better yet, so that we can be able to push through the fire. All right. So when we get out the fire, we will actually make it. And this is how we'll be rich towards YAHAWASHI, because when we're rich towards YAHAWASHI, we have a lot of faith, we have a lot of spirit. We're very spiritual, and we're not carnal. We're not attached to any worldly things. All right. Which also leads into this, Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. Treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Slakia. So yeah, this is the thing. We have to build up spiritually. We have to be working spiritual hours. All right, working the spiritual hours, doing the work that we can, doing our obligations, being built up in the spirit. All right, having making making the wisdom and knowledge, the word of YAHAWASHI, a part of ourselves. Okay, doing the best that we can to make it a part of ourselves. All right, and this is what is going to be the thing. Like, this is the contributing factor. All right, of which is the primary contributing factor is YAHAWASHI's mercy. There's really nothing that we can do. It's just that the Lord chose us to give us the spirit of even wanting to do the best that we can to attempt to be worthy of His mercy, His love, His everything. Okay, just being His servants. All right, that's the mercy of YAHAWASHI, and we need to continue to grow, continue to do more in regards to that. Okay, so that because in all honesty, we're not worthy of it, but the least that we can do is attempt to be worthy of it. All right. Now also, Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So now this is the exact same thing as as I had said before. There are some brothers that have a faith level of that start off with having a faith level with, let's say, 100. Some are at 200. Some are at 500. All right, and the thing is, we're all different, but we at the same time we all have to, with our faith level, grow it the best we can. All right, move on with this. Verse 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made other 5 talents. And likewise he that received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged into the earth, and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. Verse 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord, of thy Lord. So that's another thing. When we are responsible for more, when we have more responsibility, we have a higher expectations, and as a result, we're also going to have a higher reward. All right, this is something to remember. All right, if you're dealing with a lot more than regular, then of course there's going to be a lot of a huge reward for it. Okay, Lord's reward you more for more that you do, the more effort that you put in, and the more responsibilities that you have to fulfill. All right, so let's move on. Verse 22. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed, I believe. Verse 25. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent into the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. Verse 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gathered where I have not strayed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. Okay, so this is the thing. If you are for the slothful servants, for the servants that aren't as, I guess, faithfully inclined, all right, and they're just ready to give up. They're not going to put in the effort for their Lord, all right. Then they're gonna, what little that they have, they're gonna have theirs taken, and it's gonna be given to the one that's already very responsible, already very diligent. Okay, so number one, they're adding more responsibility, not necessarily responsibility. I think in this context, it shows they're adding more reward to them. So what little reward they have, but also, yes, I guess it is also a responsibility. Okay, but the thing is that the parabolically, it's showing that the 5-talent servant is actually, or the 10-talent servant is actually capable of doing so. Okay, because they're already juggling five talents, so they can handle more. All right, but the one that's has maybe 2 talents, maybe they'll get at some lesser things. All right, but the thing is that the ones that have the most, these are the ones that are the most reliable. Just in work in general, like the boss is going to rely on the most diligent worker. They're not going to rely on anyone that's they're sometimes reliable, they're sometimes, they're going to say, hey, the most reliable worker, can you please, or the most hard worker, can you please do this and third, because slacker C is freaking not doing his part. All right, and then they're gonna say, all right, then yeah, I got it. All right, like that's basically how things work. All right, and that again, that goes back into faith, how we have more, when we have more faith, we're going to be responsible for going through even harder things. All right, and we need to grow spiritually to be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm ready to handle Jacob's trouble or something like that. Okay, this is what this process is now. I thought for Jacob's trouble, but apparently maybe I'm not. All right, maybe I'm not. All right, because I'm not gonna lie, I think we really need to think and examine just how bad things might be. Okay, maybe do some research into how were I think it was Japanese treated during World War II when they bombed Nagasaki. How were the Israelites treated? Well, actually, I think everyone already knows about that. But basically, in terms of FEMA camps and stuff like that, how are they treated? All right, and the only ones that I really know was when the Japanese were treated when they were treated during World War II, or when they were bombed, when Japan was bombed. All right, did not fuck with any Japanese people, and with how ignorant Babylon is, they probably didn't just target Japanese. They probably targeted any Asian, any Asian in terms of the Chinese and whatnot. So it was probably Moab and Ammon. But the main point is the fact that there are trials and tribulation that we have to go through, and through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi, we have to have faith. We have to grow in the faith, and we need to be ready spiritually for these harder upcoming times. All right. Finally, Proverbs chapter 3 verse 12: For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. So this is the last thing. we're going to be going through a lot of hardships, and we need to understand that the Lord is putting us through, even though we're in this truth, even though we're showing our love for YAHAWASHI. I speak to myself first and foremost. Actually, I want to say that first and foremost. Speak to myself first and foremost. Even though we're going through these hardships, even though things look grim, we have to have faith that YAHAWASHI is going to protect us, is going to look out for us, and that the Lord is molding us into the perfect men of the Lord and the perfect women of the Lord. All right, we need to be better. We need to do better. We need to actually take these trials and tribulations, these hardships, as learning experiences, and not just what's the word? Not just being like, oh my God, woe's me. Why am I going through such hardships? I'm trying to do better. Like, no, don't just sit around feeling sorry for yourself. All right, just be patient, and be patient as it says in Sirach chapter 2, verse 1, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. It's going to be hard, but we just have to have faith and grow in the faith. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad, Babal, and Shalom.